Welcome to video B of EtonDrivingSchool's education video on the test area of Slough. If you haven't had a chance to watch video A, then please do so. If you do have the opportunity to watch this on a big screen, i.e. on your television, using something similar to Chromecast, you'll probably gain a lot from it because you'll see a lot more detail. But let's get on with it. Let's start the engine and let's look where we could possibly go on our test in another short video. Okay, so we've just parked just short of the test station on the left. It's that building on our left hand side. Okay, and I'm going to have a good observation before I pull away from here. I'm having a good look round, and I'm checking my blind spot, and then I'm safely pulling away. The road is nice and clear ahead of me, so I'm going to follow the road ahead, and I've got traffic lights ahead of me, and at those traffic lights on this occasion we're going to be turning right. So I'm checking my rear view mirror as I approach, putting my right hand indicator on, and I'm taking the right hand lane. As always, I'm stopping at the white line and I'm waiting for a green light. While I'm waiting, I'm checking my left and right mirrors because I'm looking for those cyclists and motorcyclists that may impact me as I pull away. Being vulnerable road users, we always need to be looking out for those. Always watching the road ahead, left and right as I'm waiting, taking in as much information as I can while I'm sitting at these red traffic lights. Lights turn to green, so again I'm quick looking my left and right mirror as I pull away, and I turn into the new road heading towards a bridge. A warning triangle on the left telling me that there is a crossing, pedestrian crossing, and there it is. There's nobody waiting, so I can proceed. Checking my rear view mirrors. I don't know if you noticed, but the vehicles ahead of me are not really making a lot of progress, and there you can see why, because we're just about to enter a 20-mile-an-hour speed restricted area. Checking my rear view mirror to see if it's me slowing down, it's going to impact on anybody, and I'm going to pop it into second gear, because in second gear at 20 miles an hour I've got a lot more control over the car. I can rely less on the brakes, and there is less chance of me creeping up in speed. Zebra crossing, I was checking to make sure there was no one there. There isn't. There's a set of traffic lights coming up, and these traffic lights I'm going to follow the road ahead. There is a keep clear in front of me. The car's taking the opportunity to cross in front of me. That's fine, and now it's safe for me to go. As long as those lights stay green, I'm going to follow the road ahead. I have a van in front of me. Of course, vans quite often are doing deliveries, so he may suddenly stop because he may be looking for an address. Car's pulled out from the left. I didn't use my brakes there, but I did come off the gas. I've got a vehicle with his beacon on. Someone's getting out of the vehicle, and it's safe for me to go now. Didn't stop, just adjusted my speed, change of speed to 30 miles an hour, checking my mirrors, checking my right hand mirror for a motorcyclist, and there was just about enough room for me to get past without impacting other road users. Following the road ahead, there is a set of traffic lights. I'm going to follow the road ahead. You may not be aware at this point, but there is no right hand turn, and the paint on the road says I can use the left or the right hand lane. On this occasion I'm going to use the left hand lane. I can use the right hand lane, but these two lanes are going to merge into one, so whichever lane I'm in, whether it's the left hand lane or the right hand lane, I need to be aware that we need to merge, and it's me that's going to have to merge because there's parked cars on the left. So I'm checking what their vehicles around me are doing. I'm going to put my right hand indicator on, and I'm going to move in between a gap. Now of course, if I was in the right hand lane as I went through those traffic lights, I would have had to have allowed room for vehicles to move from the left into my lane you can't see, but there is a black car behind me, and that's what they did. Okay, so there isn't a right and wrong lane there. It's just understanding your responsibilities to other road users. Crossing, flashing. Of course, flashing your amber light means you can proceed if it's safe to do so. It's only safe to do so if nobody's crossing. Of course, that's the same as a zebra crossing. Many new Pelican crossings no longer have an amber flashing light. They immediately go red and amber, and then green. That's because those ones have sensors on them, and they know when people are still crossing. Well, certainly they should do. Waiting at a set of traffic lights for them to turn green. Okay. Checking my left and right mirror again to see if there's any cyclists or motorcyclists about, or even pedestrians that might impact my progress as I pull away and the lights go green. Again, there's another amber light just turned on me there to red. Okay, so again I'm waiting behind the white van. I'm not getting too close to the white van, there's no need to. We don't know what the intention of this van driver is. He may have a delivery coming up, in which case we might have to go round them. Checking my left and right mirrors as we pull away. I've got a sign on the left telling me what lane to get into depending on what I want to do at the next junction. I want to turn left, so I need to be in the left hand lane. But immediately when I've turned left, there's going to be a roundabout in front of us, and at that roundabout I want room for me on the other side. Go turn left at these traffic lights. As I turn left, there is a roundabout just round the corner. Now that roundabout I'm going to be turning right to go towards Datchet. So I'm planning for that now. So I'm going to make sure that as I turn left, I'm on the right hand side. What are the dangers? What are the hazards? Hazards are one of the vehicles behind me might be impatiently trying to overtake me. So as I turn left, I'm going to be observing them, especially checking my right hand mirror. But more importantly, I'm going to make it very clear with my position of the car where I want to go. So green light for left hand turns, and that's where I'm going, so I'm following the road. And then here, what I'm going to do is with the car, I'm going to make it absolutely clear that I'm on the right hand side. So if anybody wants to overtake me, they have to use the left hand side. You won't be able to see it, but I checked my mirrors as I did so. Coming up to the roundabouts. Roundabout controlled by traffic lights, so yes, it is a roundabout, but as far as a road user is concerned, it's just a mini one-way system controlled by traffic lights. As long as those lights stay green, I'm going to enter the roundabout. They do, so off I go. Staying in the right-hand lane because that's where the paint on the road tells me I need to be. Of course, there are some temporary yellow road signs here, but they're not affecting me. They're for traffic getting on the motorway there. Follow the road round. I've ended up in the middle lane. It's where I do need to be because this exit in front of me is exit 2 and I want exit 3. So as the lights go green, I want to make sure that I stay in the left hand lane that stays on the roundabout. And there it is. Lights again in front of me have turned red, so I'm going to wait. Could put my left hand indicator on here, but those observant people that are watching would have noticed that the lane I'm in is dedicated to coming off at the next exit, so not necessary, but certainly wouldn't hurt to use them. The light turns green, checking my left and right mirrors to make sure there are no cyclists or motorcyclists that are going to impact me as I pull away, or more importantly me impact them. Traffic lights in front of me are green. I'm staying in the left hand lane as I go around this corner. I'm allowing vehicles to overtake me on the right, that's what they're allowed to do. And we've got a car, and as he goes I'm building up my speed. There's a white van, wants to do the same thing, so I'm just not accelerating as fast as I would have done to allow him to do it. Was he allowed to do it? Well, this hatched area in front of us is telling us to avoid it, but the broken white line is not telling us we're not allowed to. said that, I wouldn't use that area unless I absolutely had to. You can probably see there's loads of debris in that road, and it's where the tyres have kicked up rubbish and pushed it into the middle of the road. It's where you're going to find things that are going to cause you punctures. I'll follow the road ahead. Change the speed to 40, checking my mirrors, adjusting my speed, a little help from the brakes there, down to 40, and at this junction ahead of me I'm turning left. Indicator on, checking my mirrors, popping it down a gear, into second, get to the right speed to turn left, and checking my new road as I turn, it's nice and clear, so off I go. Some parked cars on the right, not impacting me at the moment, there's nobody trying to overtake them. Here's my side of the road, so they should be giving way to me, but to keep the situation safe we should always be looking. But the situation ahead of us changes. There are cars parked on the left this time, which means that we've got to go on the wrong side of the road. Checking my mirrors, looking to see how my actions are going to impact other people. And now I'm looking to say, can I get around this vehicle before this white car approaching me? Possibly not, so therefore I'm going to slow down and allow them to go. I'll try and keep the car moving, checking for the motorbike again, and I can get round just before this cyclist. Cyclist turned off anyway. Off I go. Got some road signs telling me there's some roadworks ahead of me. Checking my mirrors as I progress. People could come around that corner and that might require me to slow down or possibly stop. At the end I'm going to turn left. I'm going to finish my journey because I started it. My car's waited for me, and as I approach this junction to turn left, I'm looking to the right to see if I can enter the new road. I haven't got a very good view to the left at the moment, okay, but as I pull out I'm checking that my progress into the new road is safe and clear. It is. Off we go. Checking my rear view mirror to see who followed me. I've got a van right behind me at the moment, so therefore I'm allowing a fair gap between me and the vehicle in front. Looking for motorbikes in the right hand mirror. Okay, watching the road ahead. I'm looking ahead of these cars because I want to know what they have to do before they do it. Now I can't see what's ahead of them. I've got a safe gap between me and the vehicle in front doing 26 miles an hour, so that is more than adequate gap. It's visible to you, but we have a police van on the left hand side. He's watching for people who may decide that the speed limit doesn't apply to them. I'm only doing 27 miles an hour. It's the appropriate speed to be doing right now. I'm changing to a 40, so I'm checking my mirrors to see if anybody's trying to overtake me at this point. I can't really accelerate. The vehicles in front of me have chosen to stick at 30 miles an hour. So that's the speed that I have to do. The choice I have is the gap between me and the vehicle in front, and I'm just maintaining a sensible gap. I want to be able to stop without a rush should anything happen in front of me. Again, 40 mile an hour zone. Again, still only doing 30. But that's dictated to by the vehicles in front of me, not by me. Very visible, but there's a roundabout right in front of us. And at that roundabout, I'm going to follow the road ahead. Follow the road ahead. It's a slight turn into the left. I could use a left-hand indicator, though on this occasion I'm not. Checking traffic to the right. There's nothing coming, so I can enter the roundabout. Didn't stop. Didn't need to stop. Entering Horton Village. Current speed 40 miles an hour, but I've just been told I'm going to enter a village, so I'm expecting at some point the speed limit to change. My speed up to 40 miles an hour because it was clear on that stretch, though there is a bend coming up and I can't really see around it that well, so I'm just coming off the gas a little bit, not much. I've just adjusted the speed to 38. Checking my rear view mirror again. I can't see much around that corner, so again I'm going to adjust my speed again very slightly, just to 36 this time, and there it was. I was expecting it, change of speed, and I've got a parked car. So now I'm going to slow down a lot more, and visibility is not good. Checking for motorbikes in my side mirror. I'm going to safely go around this parked vehicle. So I'm going to take the next turning on the left, but I'm going to take the road and not the side road. This is the side road here, okay? I'm taking it here where the signpost clearly says this is the new road. So I enter the new road. There was a sign there for roadworks, and there they are, forcing vehicles coming towards me to be on the wrong side of the road. No indication there about who has priority. So although the roadworks were on the other side of the road, and technically I should have priority, I'm not going to assume it, so I was taking care. Still in a 30 as a reminder there, okay, although it could be very easily to think that you've moved into a faster area, so do keep an eye open for those change of speed signs. Currently doing 30, it's the right speed to be doing at the moment. The road is clear, it's wide enough, and there are no hazards. I've got some pedestrians on the right hand side coming up, but they're safely on the pavement, but I have got to change of speed. Checking my rear view mirror, nothing behind me, so I can now increase my speed. National speed limit for this road is 60. Would it be right for me to be doing 60 right now? Probably not. So I am building up my speed. Currently doing 45. Still accelerating. It's a good road. Doing 47, 48. Building my speed up a little bit more. Comfortable. There are no issues. I'm now doing 50, 52. Not to go any faster. Not necessary. Okay. And could potentially be dangerous. Just came off the gas there, so I knew what that silver vehicle was doing. Okay. I can see ahead a round circle sign, checking my mirrors, and now I can see it's a change of speed to 30 miles an hour. I'm applying the brakes very gently. I want to be doing 30 when I reach the sign. Now I am dropping it into third gear. Talked about that before, about using second gear for 20 miles an hour. And I like to use third gear for 30 miles an hour for the same reason. I've got better control of the car, less reliance on the brakes, and less chance of my speed creeping up. Not exactly clear what this junction does, so I'm looking for road markings. I can see two junctions to the right, so that they've got to give way to me, so it means I've got right of way as I go around this corner. Still got right of way, still got right of way. So it's about observing the paint on the road to know what you need to do. Change of speed in front of us, 20 miles an hour. So I'm just coming off the gas a little bit, getting into 20, I'm in second. Traffic lights are green. It's a pedestrian crossing, there are no pedestrians about. Change of speed coming up to 30, checking my rear view mirror. The vehicle behind me has left me plenty of space, and I can build up my speed. But I do notice ahead that although this vehicle has pulled out in front of me, it didn't really impact me. The vehicles in front are not making that much progress. And now I can see why. There's a sign for a junction. There's a lot of information on that sign, but the most important one I can see is at the end of this road I need to give way to a major road. So, doing my observation, checking my rear view mirror, preparing for this junction. It's not immediately obvious what needs to happen here because there are no giveaway signs, but that sign previously, the road direction sign, made it clear that I needed to give way here. Even paint on the road isn't being particularly helpful. It's clear for me to get on, so I am, and I want to turn right to go towards either. I've taken the left-hand option of the two options to turn right. I don't have to, I could use the right-hand option as well. But in the left-hand lane, I have got better visibility of traffic that wants to go in the same direction as me. In other words, the mirror on my right-hand side is closer to me, so I get a better view in it, rather than the mirror on my left-hand side, which is further away, which means that my visibility using that mirror is less clear. Following the road ahead, currently in a 40. Okay, we had a change of speed sign earlier. I'm being told the road gets narrower ahead, so I'm just bearing that in mind. Checking my rear view mirror very quickly. And it is narrowing, but it's not narrowing excessively, but I do have a warning triangle telling me about a roundabout. Adjusting my speed. Popping want to follow the road ahead, so I'm going to take the left-hand lane, because the right-hand lane's for turning right unless told otherwise. There we go. There are no road markings on this roundabout, but there is 2 lanes, because there was 2 lanes on approach, so I'm staying to the left. Building my speed up as I leave. There's a 30-mile-an-hour sign on the right-hand side. Okay, not always clear, but that is specifically for that side road, not for the road that we're on. If you're unsure, then consider going at a slower speed. Following the road ahead. Nice road here, just recently been resurfaced, so it's a nice road. Okay. White lines in the centre are telling us that there's hazards about, so I'm being aware. I'm checking my rear view mirror, and there's a junction coming up. It's the traffic lights. And at those traffic lights I'm turning right, slowing the car down. I'm going to put the right hand indicator on. I'm going to stay in the right hand lane. We've got arrows to tell us what lane is for what on this occasion. I'm not sure they're entirely necessary. I think it's pretty obvious that the right hand lane would be for turning right and the left hand lane would be for turning left. Into the new road. Okay, did have a change of speed down to 30, and now we've got an increase of speed into 40. Checking my rear view mirrors as I build up the speed. Lorry in front of me is slowing down, so I'm coming off the gas. Why is he slowing down? Well, I think it's because there's a cyclist there. I can see the cyclist. There's a cyclist on the road or on the pavement. Difficult to tell at this point. But I can see now that he's on the pavement. Okay, so less of an issue for me, though I'm still aware of them. Following the road ahead. I've got a glimpse of a sign just there. And yes, checking my rear view mirrors, there's a change of speed sign. And I've got obstruction, the road narrows on the left, and I've got traffic lights. So I now need to follow the rules of the traffic lights, which green means I can go. But if they weren't there, I would have to give way to traffic coming towards me to get round that obstruction. It's a speed calming measure. I'm in a 30-mile-an-hour zone, so that's all I'm doing. There's our traffic waiting to go through the traffic lights that we just passed. And I'm going to take the next turning on the left, checking my rear view mirrors, see who's behind me. I'll put my left hand indicator on. And the left hand turn is just before that blue sign, and that looks very, very steep to me, so I'm braking a lot more than I would normally. I'm going to go around this corner at 10 miles an hour. Look how tight it is. I need to stay on my side of the road, and I definitely need to stay on my side of the road because there's a vehicle coming out. And I actually brought it down right down to 8 miles an hour to negotiate that corner. Very difficult to tell sometimes what speed you need to be doing to go around the corner. Always best to be on the safe side and be a little bit slower. It's a lot easier to increase your speed if you need to than it is to continually slow down. So I approached that one too fast, had a very, very real risk of me taking it wide and then impacting that vehicle coming towards me to the junction that could have resulted in an accident. While I was just talking to you about that junction, I was dealing with the parked cars. I was checking my mirrors all the time. I was looking for traffic coming the other way. It's nice and clear, but I'm on the left, I'm aware of them. Okay. You'll notice that I'm not getting too close to any of these parked cars. There's nothing coming towards me, but there's a very real danger of someone either approaching from behind or in between those parked vehicles, or someone opening one of those car doors. And I don't want to be involved in that, so I'm giving them plenty of room. And sometimes you can't. That means that you need to approach a little bit slower. Now we've got a vehicle coming towards us, and if I gently build up my speed, I can get past this red and black car and get back on my side of the road before that car arrives. And look, I've timed that perfectly. There's another car behind them, so it looks like I'm going to have to wait, and it looks like on this occasion I'm going to have to stop. I'm checking my mirrors to see who's behind me. Just making sure that when I want to go, there's not a motorcyclist trying to squeeze between my me and the right hand side. Okay, still waiting. There's another vehicle coming towards me. Looks like he's parked. So again, I'm checking my rear view mirrors, especially my right hand side mirror, and I'm going to make progress. Now here's an interesting junction. It's a crossroads. I'm going to approach really slow so you can see. But can you see there are no white paint here? There's nothing to tell anybody who's got priority. So what does that mean? Who does have priority? The fact is, we all need to take care because nobody does have priority. They want you to slow down and take care. At the end of the road, we're going to turn left. Again, I'm checking my rear view mirror. I'm going to put my left hand indicator on this occasion. Cyclist coming from the left on the pavement. As I approach, I'm just dropping it into first so I can slow down a little bit more. And no, there's not an opportunity for me to go this time. There's a lorry coming. So I'm hanging back from the junction a little bit here. It's not always clear to see that on the video, but there was no need for me to be right up close. In fact, because of the angle, it gave me a better view of the road to the right by hanging back a little bit there. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. Following the road ahead. And we're currently in a 40. We were told that at the end of the road that we just left. But I'm only doing 35 because the vehicle in front is not really getting away from me. So I'm sort of maintaining that gap between the vehicle in front. Traffic lights, they're green. Checked my rear view mirrors there because they've been green for some time and they could turn red on me. Checking my mirrors again. Checking them. Traffic lights. I was too close there to stop. It did go amber, and amber does mean stop, but on that occasion, for me to have slammed the brakes on could potentially mean that I didn't stop in time. I would have been over the white line. Change of speed to 30. I'm checking my rear view mirrors, making sure I know what's going on behind me and whether they are going to impact me on my journey or I'm going to impact them. Traffic slowed down in front of me, so there's no point in me speeding up. In fact, I can see that it's come to a standstill, so gentle on the brakes and stop behind this vehicle. I've got a road on the left. There are no clear markings in front of me, and none of these vehicles are particularly breaking the rules, but we should not be blocking a side road. So I'm going to wait until there's room for me to go right the way past, and there is now, so off I go. And by keeping that clear, it didn't really impact on my journey. But should someone wanted to turn into that road or someone wanted to turn out of that road, had I blocked it, it would have interfered with their journey, and that's not really fair. If you can see, but just ahead of us is a roundabout. We're following the road sign for Slough here. Again, I'm checking my mirrors. It's a classic situation where I could get a cyclist catches up and try and squeeze through. I'm not interested in whether what their decision is right or wrong. I just want to make sure that I keep the situation safe. Slough's going to take me to the left. So I'm checking my mirrors again. I'm going to put my left-hand mirror. I'm going to put my left-hand indicator on. As I approach the roundabout, I am checking to the right. I'm going to have to stop because the traffic in front of me has stopped. Got a police car parked on the corner there. Might be something going on, so I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. Don't know what that is. That could be an accident, and it's safe for me to get onto the road. Watching the road ahead, I've got someone waiting to turn right. I've not flashed them, I've not waved them, but I've allowed them space to cross the road. We're preventing the traffic coming the other way from moving. So the easiest thing for me to do was just to allow them to finish crossing the road. Zebra crossing, I can see clear to the left, not to the right. I can now, and I can see it's safe to do so, so off I go. And again, there's parked cars to the right. I'm checking my mirrors, and there is enough room for me to fit through, so that's what I'm going to do. So use the wrong side of the road to get around that corner. was his decision, but I wanted to keep the situation safe, so I just slowed down to let him finish. Checking to the right again to see if I can get onto this roundabout. It's clear, so off I go. Bus pulled into the bus stop on the left hand side there. He's got his indicator on. He's clearly come to a stop, so I can go. Now there's a question for you. If he was indicating to come out of that bus stop, what should I do as a road user? There's a young person walking towards the zebra crossing there. Are they going to cross? No, I'm close enough to get past. But I spotted them and I was considering what they were going to do, and that's the right thing to do. I'm going to wait for this lorry to go past before I can pass these parked vehicles, but I can now see that there is space. There wasn't with the lorry, but there is with the cars coming towards me. Let's go back to that bus, waiting in the bus lane, bus stop, waiting to pull out. What should we do? The highway code is quite clear that we should give way to public service vehicles. And a bus is a public service vehicle. So if we can safely allow that bus to pull out of the bus stop without endangering anybody else, then that's what we should do. Okay. So again, still in the 30 mile an hour zone. I am doing 30, it's the right speed to be doing on this bit of road. Is that car parked on the road or the pavement? He's got two wheels on the road. Checking my mirrors, slowly going past him. Didn't have to do a lot, but I did need to be aware. Change of speed, check my mirrors. Okay, and we're going to make progress. We are going to turn left next. I'm checking my rear view mirror. My left-hand indicator on. I'm starting to adjust my speed. Judging the right time to put it into second gear. Just about here will do nicely. Clutch all the way up. Checking out my new road as I turn into it. It's nice and clear. I've got a change of speed sign there, 30 miles an hour. Van, need to go around it. Checking for the motorbike with my right-hand mirror. Around I go. Following the road ahead. Light levels have changed. I'm quite lucky that this vehicle was fitted with automatic headlights, and it put the headlights on some time ago. But if it hadn't, I certainly should have my lights on by this time. Still in a 30 mile an hour zone. We had the sign at the beginning of this road, and there's been no sign to tell us any different. But we do have a change of speed sign coming up. Checking my mirrors. Now I can see that it's 40 miles an hour, so I can increase my speed. It's safe to do so. I'm going to maintain that gap between me and the white car in front. There's no point in getting too close to him. There's a car parked on the left hand side. There could be a pedestrian. The lights are on. Make sure they don't open that door. I'm going to slow down. As I go past them, I've got an opportunity to leave them a bit more room, and I am. Excessive speeds here, in a 40. I've got a warning triangle there, and it's there for a reason. It's warning me, so I'm slowing down. In fact, I'm going to pop it into second gear, and there's the reason why it warned me. It's not very wide. I've corrected my speed. I'm doing 18 miles an hour. I'm nicely in control. Yeah. So I've passed that. Following the road ahead, building up my speed. I was about to pop into third, but I noticed in front of me there's a tunnel, so I've kept it in second. The vehicle in front of me is slowing down quite a lot, and I can see why now, because I cannot see the exit to that tunnel. So that means that I can't see who is in the tunnel. I'm in second gear, I'm taking it really steady, I'm having a good look, and it's clear, so I can enter. Only enough room for two cars. If there had been a van or a lorry coming the other way, there would have been an issue, and I would have had to have waited for them. Reminder to the left that I'm approaching a 30 mile an hour zone. There's a roundabout in front of me. Might not be very clear to you on the video, but I'm going to turn left at that. My left-hand indicator's on. I've checked the rear view mirror. As I approach, I can see it's clear to get on the roundabout and to leave the roundabout. Light levels are getting lower and lower, so I have to bear that in mind, that there are things that might be harder for me to see. checking my rear view mirrors, because I want to turn right hand indicators on, adjusting my speed, have a good look into this new road before I enter it. I had a look, you can't see it in the camera, but I can see that it's nice and clear, so in I go. But there are cars parked on the left and the right. So again, I'm not getting too close to the parked cars, there's no need for me. Our light levels are going down. You're not going to be taking your test under these light levels. We're currently 4:15. Okay. Any tests today, if they were happening, would have finished by now. But there are. Just looking. What am I going to do? I'm just going to nip past this vehicle before there, and there's our passing place. We can pass each other. And again, I can get past these ones. But there's nothing to say that you might not take your test in the middle of a thunderstorm, and that can really dramatically reduce your light levels. So if you haven't done any driving in the dark, I suggest you do. Okay, be that in your private practice, or if you're not able to do private practice, talk to me and we will try and change things around so that you do at least one lesson during the hours of darkness. Again, we've got parked cars left and right. I had a child on a scooter I was aware of. I'm just being cautious here. And I've got a vehicle with its beacon on, keeping my speed down to slow. Oh, I can see the road turns to the left. So I'm just taking it nice and easy. I cannot see around that corner. So I'm taking it nice and easy, having a good look round. And there's a vehicle that's parked on the left. There's a vehicle with lights on, but it's clearly stopped. Following the road ahead. Challenging here because we've got a number of vehicles parked left and right. I've got to get around these vehicles, but I've then got to safely get on my side of the road. Before that vehicle on the left moved out the way, I wasn't able to get back on my side of the road. But this time I can. So I'm going to, there's a pedestrian on the road, so just aware of them. And at the end of the road I'm going to turn right. So now I'm going to put my right hand indicator on. Cars parked to the left, vans parked to the left. All are more than capable of hiding pedestrians that might just step out from behind them. Now, as it goes, I'm not close to them, so it's not really an issue, but I do need to keep an eye open. Got pedestrians trying to cross, so they're on the road, and now they have right of way, so I'm going to let them cross. Paint on the road and road signs telling me I'm about to enter a 20-mile-an-hour zone. Left and right. Traffic lights to the right, which are currently red, and I've got to wait. Okay, very busy, a lot of traffic coming from the left and the right. Sometimes those traffic lights at that crossing could be my opportunity to go, but on this occasion I don't need to rely on them. Go. The traffic lights in front of me are red, so there's no point in me speeding up. I might as well just approach them gently. I want to follow the road ahead, so I'm following the paint on the road and being in the right lane. And we've got Langley College right in front of us. We've got a green light, but it's only green light for the traffic going to the left, so I'm staying where I am. Again, I'm using this time to check my left and right mirror to see what's about. Okay, so that when I get a green light now, I know there's nobody there, so I am not going to impact anybody else, and they are not going to impact me. Following the road ahead. Again, college on the left, looking out for students. Okay, aware that I'm in a 20-mile-an-hour zone. Zebra crossing. Yep, nobody wants to cross, so off I go. Still in a 20-mile-an-hour zone, but there in front of us it changes to 30. Checking my mirrors. Can I get past? Is it safe? Is a cyclist in front of me? No, it's not. So I'm going to stay where I am. Okay. I'm going to go past this cyclist and I'm going to put their life at risk just to get to my destination a little bit quicker. That's not acceptable under any circumstances. Crossing in front of me, checking for pedestrians, checking my rear view mirror, nothing to be concerned about. Off I go, coming up to a bridge, and we're going to turn left after the bridge. So I've stuck my left hand mirror on after checking my rear view mirror. Check my left hand mirror to make sure there's not another cyclist about. I've got a green light, but they're not for me. There's a giveaway in front of me, so that means I've got to check to the right. You can't see in the shot there, but it's clear, so off I go. Test station on our right. On this occasion we're going to turn into it. Okay, test station's closed. I know it's closed because we're currently in lockdown 2.0. Alright, as I enter, I'm staying on my left hand side. Okay, just as much as could be pulling into this road, someone could be turning out, and I'm just going to do exactly the same as what would happen on a test. I'm just going to pull into one of the bays. That's it. So it's the end of video B. Went into a little bit of darkness there. Okay, like I say, light levels should be quite good in your test. If they get particularly bad, be aware of it. If you don't have automatic headlights on your vehicle, make sure you turn them on if it's appropriate. Okay, but that's the end of our video B.